Today is Fun Fitness Friday. Let's do it. So your warm-up today, we're just going through 2 different exercises. If you have a skipping rope, go ahead and do single unders for the 60 seconds. If you don't, you can just do jumping jacks for the 60 seconds instead. And then you're pairing that up with push-ups. Do whatever push-up works best for you. We're just looking for 10 solid reps throughout the warm-up. All right, guys, for your workout today, we've got 4 different exercises where you're gonna go for a minute on each station and then a minute rest. So it's kind of like 5 stations, and you'll go through that 3 times. If you're a person who likes to keep track and that motivates you, go ahead and have a whiteboard or a pen and paper around, and you can keep track of how many reps you get at each station in each round to try and hit a mark each time. Starting with regular old lunges for your first one, you're gonna just alternate in the same place, either stepping backwards like so, or you can step forwards. Or if you're really trying to get as many reps as you can go jumping. So it would be here and jumping up and down, just making sure that that back knee almost touches the floor each time, and don't do these guys. All right, so that's the lunge. For the inverted rows, again, I don't have a spot that I can demonstrate right here, so I'm just gonna plug that video in right now. For your inverted rows, what we're gonna do is you're gonna find yourself a table, or what you can also do is put a hockey stick across a couple chairs, or maybe a broomstick, a couple different ways that you could try to figure it out. But you've already been doing the inverted row holds, hopefully, and so this one is just making it dynamic. You're just moving instead of holding it. So you're gonna get your hands on top of the table, something that you trust. Throw your legs and your hips underneath it, and then what you're gonna do is you're pulling your elbows down and your chest up, and you're squeezing your back muscles while you do that. So hands on the table, hips underneath, you're pulling up and controlling down, pulling up and controlling down. And that is the inverted row. And then we're gonna go towel pullbacks if you don't have the inverted row option. So grab yourself a towel and then a yoga mat or something that you can lie down onto. You're gonna come down to the ground, hands in front of you. Now this whole time, I want you to rip that towel apart, like I'm trying to rip it apart the whole time. Pull into your chest and then back out each time. You should be feeling the backs of your shoulders working this whole time if you're able to keep that constant tension in the towel. All right, we've got everyone's favorite, the burpee. A few different ways you can do the burpee. You can step back into your burpee, coming all the way down, step up, jump up at the top, or for a little bit more speed, you can jump back, jump up, and it's totally okay if you can't come all the way down on the ground. You can just do an elevated surface like your couch or your countertop and do the same motion on there, putting your hands on that surface each time, and that is the burpee. Last one in this circuit, we've got squats, but I want you to do it with a weight in your hand. So we're gonna go with a dumbbell. If you don't have a dumbbell, just fill a backpack with books and then hold it in front of you same way. And then we're simply gonna squat here in that position. Think about the same things that I've talked about before, where you've got your feet at a shoulder width, toes pointed slightly outwards, knees and hips bend at the same time, coming straight down, and just control good reps for each rep within your minute of work. For your finisher, we've got 2 different static holds. You're gonna start with the single leg standing hold, where you're gonna put one leg down on the ground. Take your shoes off for this one so your toes are in the ground and you can feel your heel on the ground. So ideally, you can feel that whole foot in the ground. We're really looking for stability in the ankle and foot complex. And then from there, we're just gonna hold that position for 3 minutes, trying to keep your leg up. If it falls a little bit to there, totally okay. Try to hold that position for 3 minutes. If you wanna be next to a wall for balance, that's fine. But you should be feeling the work in the hips and in the hip flexor here. Don't let the hip sag on the one side, but keep that hip up and level for the whole 3 minutes. And then lastly, what we've got for your finisher is a plank, where you're gonna hold it for as long as you possibly can. I wanna see everybody ideally over that 60-second mark. If you can push it to the 2 or 3 minutes, then you get the extra gold star, all right? So in your plank position, get your elbows beneath your shoulders, hands straight in front of your elbows, holding a good plank position, meaning you're kind of holding a crunch position. If you're on your back and you hold that crunch where your abs are engaged, that's the same position that we want to be in for your plank. So you never want to let that low back cave in. I'll show you here. Don't let that low back cave in, but instead hold it here. If in your plank you start to feel tension in that low back, it means we're losing the position that we want, and you can just stop there. If it's not as long as you want it to be, then just take a rest and then continue holding it for the remainder of that goal that you set for yourself. That was week 11 of our quarantine programming. It's been a ride. Keep working hard. I know I'm going to see you guys soon, hopefully outside for some great workouts as the weather's getting nicer and nicer. But have a great weekend, guys, and we'll see you soon. For your warm-up today, you're just going through 2 different exercises. Number 1, if you have a skipping rope, go ahead and do single unders. If you don't, we're going to do jumping jackets. Jumping jackets. What's a jumping jacket?